Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing World Championship Round 4 at Russia. This is our no assists allowed league, and I'm going to go through the drivers in a moment, but before I do, just introduce ourselves here. I am Front Row Racing GP, also known as the Murray Talker. With me in the commentary box this evening we've got Front Row Racing JS, who is known as James Shunt. How are you this evening, James?
Oh, not bad, not bad. A bit of a dicky tummy, but not too bad.
Well, if you have to run off to the toilet, don't worry, we'll tell everyone that you've got the runs. Also with us down in the pit lane, also with a bit of computer technology down in the pit lane as well, we've got Front Racing DP, our Mr. Ted Crabsticks. How are you this evening?
I think I've got what James has got, because I've got a dodgy tummy as well. I should say belly as well. Yeah, so not feeling too great, but then it could just be too much vodka down here, to be honest. Looking at hopefully a very interesting race today. The Russia circuit obviously raced much earlier in the season.
DP, your mic has just gone off and back on again.
I'll check that in a moment.
We can hear you.
Hopefully be an interesting race. I mean, I'd like to see some weather around this track just to spice things up a bit.
I would have to agree with you there, DP. So what I'm going to do is run through last round, because we do race fortnightly for the World Championship. Last round was China, and the winner of that race was Stocky. In second place, Dan Evs. Third place, RMS Maranello. Fourth was Mr. Hamilton 44. Fifth was Hammer Time 95. Sixth place was Mornay 77. Seventh place, GT5 King. So Mornay and GT5 King, Team Banter Williams, great result from them. They also got Team of the Day. Eighth place, Jamie James. Ninth, Overdyking. 10th, Bartman. 11th, K Slay. 12th was the reserve driver for Moving Chicane Racing Force India. 13th place was the admin's pick rookie. 14th place was Temp Fear. 15th place was Killer Corkin. And then we've got the did not finishers of Will Butler, F1 Roadrunner, Tinahan and Adam 4600. DP, over to you for the Drivers' Championship standings.
Yeah, just bear with me 1 second. Having a few microphone issues as I was checking it. Okay, driver standings. Well, after the last event, there's been a few changes. Stocky in Fearless Trailblazers Mercedes is leading the way at the moment on 56 points, with Mr. Hamilton 44 in second place for Danish Dragons Red Bull on 45. Dan Evs, Mr. Hamilton 44's teammate, is in third place on 42 points, and Caseley 1 is in fourth on 40 points. We've then got Bartman 2112, GT5 King 786 and RMS Maranello all on 15 points, although RMS Maranello does have a reserve driver in his place today. Overdyking is in 8th place on 14 points, and we'll quickly sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
his
to
birthday
you.
Today, I believe. So yeah, Overdyking in 8th place. F1 Roadrunner, Temp Fear and Hammer Time 95, they're all joint 9th on 10 points. And then we've got Jamie James and Mornay both sharing 8 points, and then Killer Cork and JD on 2 points, W Butler on 1 point, and then we've got Tinahan, Adam 4600 and Duo Finn all on 0 points. And at the moment, Adam 4600 and Duo Finn are not yet in the lobby, so I'll keep an eye on those guys getting ready to join. But we do have 2 reserve drivers in today. That's coming to get you. He's in for Tinahan and Braken Clays, who is in for RMS Maranello.
Okay, thank you, DP. James, do you have the Constructors' Championship standings?
Oh, I seem to have just lost
That's all right.
my Wi-Fi, which is very handy.
That's all right. I'll go through them for you then on this occasion. We've got Danish Dragons Red Bull on top position with 87 points. Then Fearless Trailblazers Mercedes 66, Lunatic Assassin Haas 55, the Underdogs McLaren 25 points, Team Banter Williams 23, GG Well Played Ferrari 22, and they are level points with the prancing Toro Rosso. Then we've got the Moving Chicane Force India on 2 points, and the A2W Racing Renault on 1 point. So let's quickly look through the drivers that we've got with us for this race at Russia today. The Fearless Trailblazers Mercedes of Temp, Fear and Stocky, and then the GG Well Played Ferrari, we've got Jamie James and Over Dykink. We've got Team Banter Williams of GT5 King and Mornay. Danish Dragons Red Bull, or as I'm going to call them, the Danish Dragons of Dan Evs and Mr Hamilton 44. Then we've got Moving Chicane Racing Force India of what should be Killer Corkin and Duo Finn, but Duo Finn is not with us at this moment in time. He may be a late attendee, so
he's just come in now.
He's just on his way, so he'll be there shortly in his pit box. We've got where am I up to? A2W Racing Renault, and that is W Butler and Adams 4600. Again, Adam 4600 might be a late attendee. The Prancing Toro Rosso of what would normally be Tinahan and F1 Roadrunner. Tinahan's got his reserve driver in place of Coming to Get You, and I tell you what, he is coming to get every one of these drivers. He's my pick for today. And then we've got the Sauber, which is the commentary car, and the McLaren Honda next, which is the Underdogs McLaren Bartman and Hammer Time 95. Then in the Mano we've got Hindle, who is the admin's pick rookie. Also we've got the Haas down there as well, which is the Lunatic Assassin Racing Haas of K-Slay, what would normally be RMS Maranello, but we've got Braken Clay who's taken his place. He's also a very quick driver, going to give these World Championship drivers a run for their money. I tell you what, it is past, and I say we should send them over to the session. Now, at this point, while I was sending them over, DP, did you manage to get a chance to talk to any of the drivers prior to the event?
Well, we've spoke to a few of them. Obviously, we've mentioned Over Dykink's birthday today. There is another driver who has a birthday today, and that's Braken Clay. So happy birthday to him, and hopefully we'll get to hear him on his new microphone if he gets onto the podium. Quite a few comments have come in, and interestingly enough, the majority of comments are on a similar vein, mentioning about the lack of tyre wear around this particular circuit compared to last time out, where the tyres were pretty much dying everywhere. Now, Stocky's leading the current standings, and his pre-race comments were that this is actually his least favourite track. He struggled to master the middle sector, and that's where the majority of the lap is made in terms of qualifying. As for the race, a good exit from the final corner will be crucial due to the effect of slipstream, and as always, thanks to the admins for the race. Onto the tyre choices. There's obviously we've got the softer option of tyres, which I think most drivers may go for today, giving plenty of super soft tyres in qualifying and one of each set of tyres for the race. Balanced gives one set of softs in qualifying and a set of each in the race, and the harder gives again one set of soft tyres in qualifying and two medium tyres in the race and no super soft. But I can't imagine anyone's going to go for the harder compounded tyres here, guys. Would you agree with that one?
I would. James, what's your thoughts on the tyres for this race?
Well, to be fair, the tyres seem to hold up so well. Even the super softs, you could be looking at maybe going 9, maybe stretching it to maybe 11 laps with the super softs. So I don't see many people using the Haas unless they find themselves losing a front wing early on and need to go from the start all the way to the end on one set of tyres.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. Just having a quick look at the weather forecast for this event. The qualifying looks absolutely bone dry, but if I press triangle, it's going to tell us what it's going to be like in the race. Or it's going to be a bit cloudy on 45 minutes, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any rain. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay like that. It could change, you never know. Right, while we're waiting for some drivers to get out onto the circuit, I am going to quickly ask question of the day. If you would like to answer the question of the day, just post it in the comments. And we'll see if the DP can read those at some point and see who gets the correct answer or nearest. So the question of the day is, what is the length of the longest lap in F1 history, and where was it? James, any idea?
I'd probably have to say the original Nürburgring.
Any idea on the length?
Whoa. It's about 9 miles, something like that.
Well, there's your guess, and I can tell you you're wrong. Because Nürburgring's longer than 9 miles. But anyway, good guess.
If you mean the Nordschleife, though, that's a little different.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the original. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I think that's 14 miles, that circuit, something like that. But anyway, DP, would you like to have a guess at the question of the day? No, don't.
No, because I know the answer.
I just realised that. Yeah, you can wait to give that out later on. So on circuit at the moment, we've got Mr Hamilton 44 on a set of super soft tyres, and just to give people an idea to look out for the sector times today, we're looking for a first sector of a 34.0, a second sector in the 33s, so 33.9 or a low 34. In sector 3, we're looking for a 28.2 and maybe even possibly just a little bit under. So what will the qualifying pole position time be? Well, predicted it possibly could be in the 35s, possibly, but it's more likely to be a mid 36 to a low 36. But who will it be? James, who do you reckon it will be?
Well, Stocky does seem to be pretty rapid at point and squirt circuits, and this is pretty much, apart from turn 3, point and squirt.
You are right on that. We have got Mr Hamilton then that started his lap, and I will point out as well, quite often around this circuit it can take 2 laps to get your tyres up to temperature. Your first flying lap might not be necessarily your quickest lap, unless you decide you're not going to go for a second lap and you want to save the tyre life. But that seems a little bit pointless at a circuit where tyre life isn't really an issue. So Mr Hamilton is coming up to the end of his first sector. What's it going to be, James? Let's have a look.
Here we go. 34.5. He was quite tight on the apex through turn 3. Do know that optimal line is to go out wide and then turn in, but I don't want to give driver coaching tips.
Especially when you've got a race tomorrow, you don't want to give anybody any tips.
No, I don't want to be Nico Rosberg in anybody.
No, what you have to say is you have to keep a tight line round there to have the fast. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what is interesting though is, I mean, this is a circuit where we saw in the WCR and the WSR races last week that there's a couple of corners around this track where if you do get a little bit on the exit curve, and I mean we're still within track limits but just a couple of wheels on the exit curve, you can easily find yourself in the barrier. But I would agree with the tyre wear and possibly doing 2 laps. I mean, there's a lot of corners around this track, but the circuit doesn't give grip. It doesn't really push the tyres too much. It's a lot like Monza in that respect, where if you go for a second flying lap, you can go a lot quicker. And I think people would benefit from doing that, as Mr Hamilton 44 puts in a 37.463, and Stocky is 1.5 tenths behind her.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if
there's currently P1 with Casely. Sector 1, the 44.6, so maybe this is a wrong lap for Casely.
No, it's not. Casely 1 has a qualifying ban for this event, so Casely 1 will be out on track putting in the quali ban delta time, and if anyone's watching and has no idea what that means, if you're not an FRR driver, don't worry about it. If you are an FRR driver, you really should know. So Casely 1, yeah, he's got to serve a quali ban, so that's what he's doing now, and he's putting in a lap so that he can start ahead of the broadcast team.
So there we go, we've got Bartman heading over the line to start his first flying lap.
I'll tell you what, we had an interesting comment from Bartman as well on his pre-race interview. He said he's having a lot of fun this season racing, so I'll just be driving to race and help my teammate where I can. Interestingly though, when we spoke to his teammate, Hammer Time 95 said that he hasn't had any problems around this track, as his pace seems pretty good. He hopes to qualify in the top 10 he hopes to be in the top 5 in both quali and the race. Although he thinks penalties could decide where he finishes. And he's also said, my teammate needs to pull up his socks to beat me this season. So, interesting comments from either side of the garage there.
Yeah, it sounds like Bartman is being a little bit more laid back this season, a bit more chilled out, and his teammate wants him to focus a little bit more. Well, I believe they've known each other for quite some time, and I'm sure they'll do absolutely fine. And Bartman is coming up towards the end of Sector 2. His first sector wasn't too bad, to be honest, with a 34.3, and he's got a 34.6. That's a couple of tenths off what he'd have really wanted. This is not necessarily going to be putting him on the first couple of rows of the grid, I don't think, unless he gets an absolutely nailed third sector. And I'll tell you what, he's got a nice line there. Oh, he's wide. Turn 14 there. 15 actually it was. I do apologise. I'm going to predict a 37 something here by the looks of it, unless I am mistaken. And it's a 38.0. It's a 5th place. That last sector did not go according to plan. That last sector's about a second off what he would have been wanting. Mornay out on a lap on a set of soft compound tyres, and his sectors are not looking too bad for the tyres that he's on. He's just set a sector 2, the same as what he's on his in-lap. His sector 2 is the same as Bartman's. James, if you see something, let us know. But go on.
Coming to get you, he's currently in 8th place, and he does look to be on the back DRS straight, coming through towards turn 12 into 13 under the bridge, locking up massively at that front right. Now heading through turn 14 towards turn 15. Turn 15, bit of an off-camber corner, bit of an odd one. You've got to work out the braking point, and he seems to have nailed that, but the back end does look to be wanting to fly off in the opposite direction. He needs to be back in the pit lane.
He is. That middle sector was not on time. I'm just wondering whether that was going to be his in-lap. Just looking at the timing screen that we've got on here. So currently hammer time 95 with the 37.0 is putting it on pole position currently. Who else have we got out on circuit?
We've got Jamie James out on circuit trying to set a lap, but from the visuals he's ETLing all over the place, going very wide through certain corners, and then cutting others back onto the back straight now, heading through turn 11. It's looking a little bit desperate here from Jamie James. He's not had the start of the season that he would have hoped for. Under the bridge, not a big lock-up, just a slight little puff of smoke, but not too bad, carrying the speed now through turn 14 towards 15. Can I get the front end turned in? That would look nice.
That was nice through there. And
but
he's heading
back
into
in the
pits.
pits. Yeah, it looks like people are just... They obviously know what the potential are.
GT5 King is not far off completing a lap on the soft compound tyre. He's had a pretty decent sector 1 and a fairly decent sector 2. I don't know where it's going to put him, but he may gain a couple of places here.
Yeah,
on
this
the top tyre, that can go quite far into the race. I think about between lap 15 and 17.
7th place for GT5 King, and he maybe that might have just been a bit of a warm-up lap, ready for another flying lap. So we're going to keep on GT5 King, see if we can set his first sector any quicker. If either of you two see somebody else out on one, let us know.
Well, that is GT5 King's second flying lap on that set of tyres, I believe. We've got Stocky, he's on an out lap, but he's got some way to go to... oh no, sorry, he's actually just set a first sector time of a 34.5. It's not quite the quickest, and it's slower than his previous, so I wouldn't worry too much about him at the moment.
Joey Finn is out on a warm-up lap. He'll be starting the lap soon.
I think Temp Fear is currently sat in 3rd place. He's just warming them tyres up. He's just about to get going for a flying lap. So here we go through the final corner, getting a nice exit with the rear end just squirming away. That may not be the optimal straight line speed he would have wanted. He may have lost a couple of tenths just from getting the power down, but heading down towards turn 2.
James, I'm sorry James, I am going to have to just put in, but I think I've just seen 2 purples, unless I'm not mistaken. Mr Hamilton 44 has set a 34.1 and a 34.1 for the first 2 sectors. This could be the pole time. This is the quickest we've seen so far in both those 2 sectors, so this could be it for first place. Last corner, squirt towards the line, and it's a 36.7, and it puts him in pole position. Sorry to cut you off, James, there. Who was it you was on?
No, it's alright. Temp Fear, he's currently set a 34.3 sector 1. Heading towards the middle, actually heading towards the end of sector 2 now, coming through turn 10 onto the back DRS straight. What's this sector 2 time going to be for Tempfia? Powering towards it at 200 mile an hour, it's a 34.4. He's got a little bit of traffic now in the final sector, I think. It's just the Renault getting in the way, but the rear end really wanting to spin round on him. Hopefully the dirty air from that Renault is not affecting him too much as he heads towards turn 17.
Yeah, he's not going to want that Renault to be in front of him, but if that Renault's on a lap, there's not a lot he can do about it.
Through the final corner, what's it going to be then for Tempfia? Force is still slightly improved, but not enough to bump him up the grid, and it looks like he's been bumped down.
But if he's going for another flying lap, he's going to get a massive amount of tow down this back straight, but his DRS is not open, so maybe he's on an in lap.
Yeah. I would say that everything you'd gain down towards turn 1, you would probably lose through turn 3.
Yep.
He's such a fast.
Someone else you might want to keep an eye on is Dan Evans is just starting another flying lap on the soft compound tyre, and obviously he's shown a little bit of pace over recent events, so it'd be interesting if he can, I mean, for any driver, if they can qualify quite high up the grid, I mean in the top 10 on the soft compound tyre, it could really mix things up heading down to turn 1 and for the start of the race. Although sector 1 time, I have seen other drivers on soft compound tyres go a little quicker. He's done a 34.7, which isn't too bad. I don't know if he's on a first lap on these tyres or a second lap on these tyres, but I mean, what's the track temperature at the moment? 29 degrees and the air's 20 degrees. I mean, we could be in a situation where the soft tyres just isn't giving quite enough speed, but for the race could be a hell of a lot more beneficial. He's not got long to go to end sector 2. I'd expect a low 34, and it is a 34.3 that he's done. If he can have a good final sector, he should be able to jump up the field a couple of positions. I would expect somewhere around about 5th or 6th place. Now, Joyfin unfortunately has just left the session. He will be able to get back in, and he won't be able to go back out and set another lap time. But Dan Evans then into the penultimate corner, and now the ultimate corner. And if anyone wants to know about that, I can let you know. Dan Evans then crosses the line, and he does go 5th place. That was a good final sector.
He's just been bumped to 6th though. I think Ferrari behind him has just snuck back in front of him.
Yeah, Jamie James has just gone and put himself into 4th place on the super soft tyre, and that's put Tempfia down to 5th and Dan Evans down to 6th.
But I'll tell you what, I think Johnny James has actually gone for another flying lap here, because he is still absolutely on it around turn 3. And looking at his previous sectors, he's going to be looking to try and gain a bit in sector 1, because he only had a 34.7 on his previous lap. So let's have a look what his lap to his sector time. No, he's off. It's a 35.2. So that'll be an in lap there, I imagine.
Scott Bartman heading towards the final corner. He's done a 34.4 sector 1, a 34.0 sector 2. Now what's it going to be? It's bumped him up to 4th and jumped in front of John.
Somebody's
James.
in the wall. Killer Corkin, unfortunately, he is in the pit wall. It looks like he's come around the last corner and ended up in the wall. Sorry, back to the driver you were talking about. Who was it?
It was Batman, just popped into 4th place.
Okay, some info for you. It had just popped up on the screen that Killer Corkin had retired from the session just before you mentioned about that crash, so it could be a terminal damage crash for Killer Corkin. Hindle is not far away from starting a flying lap. He hasn't set a time yet.
Okay, Braken Clays, he's not set a time yet, I don't think. He's just crossed the line to start his flying lap. No, he has set a time previously, because he has got sector times on the board, but I believe this to be his first flying lap of this stint. I'll tell you what, it may be just a visual thing, but I'm not seeing the DRS flaps open at the moment. So it might just be a visual thing, unless he is just going to take it as a warm-up lap and not push it and doesn't open the DRS. Looks quite smooth, so yeah, it might be a little bit off the time on this first sector. 35.1 it is, so we'll come back to Braken Clays. Overdyking is just coming out of the pits with 2.5 minutes to go. He's not set a lap time yet. Hindle then, it says he's on a flying lap. We'll see what he can do as he heads around turn 4 towards the end of sector 2. And what's that sector going to be, because it's not giving us any indication at the moment. 34.4 on the super softs. Now Hindle is the admin's pick rookie, and he is the rookie for the World Championship, but is far from a rookie when it comes to the World Series. He's the World Series champion, and there's a bit of a difference between the World Series and the World Championship. The difference is, World Championship, you're not allowed to use any assists. So Hindle here is attempting to race with no assists, where he is used to using some, where he was quite quick with the assists on in the World Series. DP, anything else to add on to Hindle? Any comments from him?
I still have a look. I'll come back to you in a second. I was having a look at GT5 King, who's now out on track on super soft tyres. Going a little quicker in sector 1, but I will check on Hindle's comments.
Okay, Hindle then, he's got a couple more corners to go, and I'll tell you what, his sectors are not too bad. He's opted for the pits. He's opted for that, and I'm surprised by that. Why not just set a lap time? Because you'll start ahead of the broadcast team with 1 minute to go. You've got no option to be anywhere other than behind us.
Yeah, maybe he's not aware that setting sector times doesn't work like it used to on F1 2015. Hindle's pre-race comments was that he's going to take it easy, especially down to turn 2 at the start of the race.
Okay, just looking at hammer time, his second sector was quicker than Mr. Hamilton's, but he was 0.3 off in the first sector. So what can he do in the final sector? Only 30 seconds left to go, and he's gonna he's going for the pit lane. I think it looked like he was going to go for another lap and then bailed out of it. Sorry, I've just seen Tempfear nearly hit the wall. He had a cracking sector 1 of a 34.1, but had to bail out of a massive oversteer moment in turn 8 and 9. Mornay out on circuit, he's on a flying lap. We've only got 5 seconds to go. We've got GT5 King out, he's on a 34.7 sector 1, a little bit wide round turn 5. Will Butler is on a lap as well, he's just starting a lap, and it's kicked us on to the broadcast view now. So we know that Tempfear's not on a lap, so let's get on with somebody that will be.
GT5 Kings, yeah, as James says, he's gone on for another lap. Big oversteer moment he's just had then. And Mornay is also back out on track on the super soft tyre. GT5 King's previous lap that he's just set did move him up to 10th place, so be interesting to see if he can improve on that as he completes this lap.
You've got yellow flags in sector 3 though, that may compromise him if somebody's on the racing line. Doesn't look to be compromising at the moment.
Being in 10th position is one of those positions you don't really want to be in. I think you'd rather be in 11th. We've got a Ferrari in the background coming around quite quickly as well. So GT5 King across the line, does he improve on his 10th? He doesn't. Okay, and it's not letting me select another driver at the moment.
He got bumped down though, he got bumped down to 11th place as the Ferrari crossed the line, which means that I think it was over Dyking who's got himself into the top 10. But as you were saying, for GT5 King, that works out kind of well.
Yeah.
Because they've got a free choice of tyre.
You might as well start the race on some fresh rubber, and it opens up your options for your strategy. Okay, so that will be the end of the qualifying. We will get the results of qualifying coming up shortly, and Front Row Racing JS will have a little read through of those. Just to remind everybody, at this point, what Codemasters have asked us to advise us what to do so we can view the start of the race from the broadcast mode is for me, myself, the broadcaster, to leave the event, and then when the formation lap starts, I rejoin the event, allowing me to view the cars from the broadcast view.
Now, I have been in discussion a bit with Codemasters over the last few days, and they have confirmed that spectator slots in the lobby will not be available on this game, but it is something they're looking at for future versions of the game. So F1 2017 onwards. So basically, instead of being a driver, you'd be able to be a spectator. And that is something that they have confirmed that they are aware of, but they can't do anything about it for this particular game. I've got a bit of information as well from Duofin. He said he's having a few issues with his internet. If he gets disconnected again, he'll stay out, so he doesn't want to cause problems for anyone. And he's also said that he's having to drive with a pad for the first time in about 6 to 7 years because Sony decided to remove support for Fanatec wheels from this game, and he hasn't had the money to buy a new wheel. And a few of the comments coming in saying gutted. Yeah, he will be gutted, because I know Duofin loves his racing,
Yeah, and I bet he loves his wheel as well. 'Cause they're not cheap, them wheels, are they? And there we are. There's the results of qualifying. Mr. Hamilton 44 does take pole position. James, over to you to read through there.
So yeah, just give me 2 seconds to get the remainder of the grid before the end of it goes. There we go. So the grid as it stands. Got Mr. Hamilton 44 P1 on 136.7. Mr. Hamilton, he's currently in P2. Stocky is in P3.
Hang on, James. Mr. Hamilton can't be in P1 and P2.
Oh, why have they all got the same name? Hammer Time 95 is in P2. Stocky P3. Bartman P4. Jammy James P5. Tempfear P6. Dan Evs P7. Coming to get you. That's a nice opening go with coming to get you in P8. Over Danny Kink coming out on the soft tyres in P9. He's the third back of the soft runners. Mornay is in P10. GT5 Kings in P11. F1 Roadrunners in P12. We've then got Killer Corkin P13. Breaking Clays P14. Will Butler P15. K-Slay P16. He won't be, mind you, we know he's got that quality band, so he won't be happy about that. Duo Finn will be starting P18, and Hindle, he did not set a time.
Yeah, I mean, Hindle's going to start behind us. The interesting thing about the qualifying there, though, is there's 4 drivers in the top 10 that qualified on the soft compound tyre. They could create a little bit of traffic for the cars behind them. The leading 6 cars, they're all on the super soft tyre. James, just get ready to press pause as when the formation's going to start. So yeah, interesting qualifying choices there. I'm just going to have a quick look now at what people outside the top 10 are doing for tyres.
Can I rejoin? Sorry, am I all right?
You can now,
Yep.
Yes, it's just started. GT5 King in 11th place, he's got super soft tyre. F1 Roadrunner in 12th, he's got super soft tyre. Killer Corkin's gone for the soft tyre, and K-Slay is also, super softs, and K-Slay has gone for the soft tyre, as well as Duo Finn, and Hindle is not actually showing up on my screen at the moment, which is a little unfortunate. Now, if he has been disconnected at this point, he is allowed, with the new rule that's been brought in, he is allowed to rejoin, and when the formation lap has been done and the race starts, the game won't allow him to take control of his car until the second lap. The new rule is that drivers will be allowed to take control of their car on that second lap and continue the race. However, if you get disconnected at any point once the race has begun, so basically you start the race as normal and get disconnected, that's it, the race is over. But yeah, there is a new rule in place that allows people that get disconnected or game crash from quali into the race to be able to actually take part in the race. So it'll be interesting to see what tyres Hindle goes for. And for K-Slay, I mean, K-Slay serving his qualifying ban, when we spoke to him before the event, because obviously he is a race winner this season, if I can actually find his comments, I should go through them, because he was asked how he thought he would get on here today, and really, I've lost his comments. Oh, there we go. Okay, he was asked, have you got the pace to come from the back? If so, how close to the win do you think you can get? And K-Slay's basically said, rain please. Pace is decent, but I reckon it'll be too hard I'm too far back to do anything. Top 6 at a push.
Now we did say, in the warm-up, we did say that it was going to be a cloud cover, and it's fairly clear at the moment. Now, if that cloud cover comes over, the super soft tyres will be able to run a bit longer.
I just want to quickly mention as well before the race gets going, W. Butler was asked if there was a driver he's aiming to beat this race. He said yes, GT5 King. Now that could be something to do with GT5 King not realising W. Butler was a WC driver. Okay, Steve, over to you.
We have got the lights coming on. There's 4, there's 5 lights. When they go out, there will be away, and they are off. The driver's a bit of a delay from when they go, but there they are off. And that McLaren's got a good start alongside Mr. Hamilton. So Hammer Time and Hamilton head down in towards turn 2 now. It's going to be 3 abreast. And keep it clean, guys. There's lots of wiggling around back there. Mr. Hamilton looks like he should have it in there. Oh no, there's sideways the front 2 contact. There's 3 cars involved, 4 cars involved. That's unfortunate for a lot of vehicles there, and it does look like Mr. Hamilton got away with that. But I think it was the McLaren that was just a little bit too late on the brakes up the inside. The heavy fuel and the dirty line there would not have helped him, and Stocky is retired from the session. I wouldn't be surprised if that is terminal damage from Stocky, but we will find out shortly when we get some information come up on the race director screen. I'm sure DP will be able to bring that to us.
I'll have a look in a second. I think Mr. Hamilton may have a little bit of damage. I did see the replay of that, and yeah, it was McLaren that got into the side of Mr. Hamilton 44, and that unfortunately collected Jamie James. I don't know if Jamie James has got damage. I'm going to go back and have a look at him. He may have a little bit of front wing damage. He's just giving Joyfin a little bit of a nudge, but it's quite busy in the middle of the pack as well.
Just going to mention at this point that we've got Brake and Clays chasing down, coming to get you for 2nd and 3rd place, and this has put coming to get you in a great position. 2nd place, and he's on the soft tyres, which is actually the harder of the compounds that the drivers are likely to be using today, because the red walls are the super softs and the yellows are the softs, but they are obviously the harder of the compounds, and he's in a good position if he can keep that. And when it comes round to the next set of pit stops, that's when he'll benefit most, and he's all over being swamped by Brake and Clays there. James?
Yeah, just to let you know, overtaking was the Ferrari that I mentioned earlier on, spun round on the first lap. He's at the back of the grid and he's on the hunt now on them soft tyres.
Okay,
info for you. Casey starting 16th, he's already up to 8th place on the soft compound tyre. Stocky, it was a DNF with terminal damage. He'll be annoyed with that one.
Sorry, just to let you know, GT5 King's just made an absolutely epic move on Tenfier, but Tenfier's coming back at him. Tenfier up the inside towards turn 5, side by side now with GT5 King. This is the action we were looking for, and this is looking like Tenfier hasn't got a lot of downforce, and GT5 King looks to have a fair chunk as he's forced him off circuit. And here comes Bartman up the inside, 3-way into... Oh, this is just getting too close for comfort.
I don't say anything.
Oh! Tenfier just tapped the back of Bartman, and now Roadrunner and Mornay through. It looks to me like Tenfier's hardly got any downforce, because running through turn 3, but GT5 King just went all the way around the outside of him.
It almost sounded like James is a little bit constipated there. No wonder he's
Whoa! Sorry, I have to butt in. Massive incident there with the car going off into the wall on 2 wheels. And I don't know exactly who that was, but it's going to have affected their race big time. It didn't exactly look like Lag DP if you watch the replay of that and let them try and make some sense of it.
Oh, there was a Williams and a Toro Rosso by the looks of it. I think that's the ones you were on about. And the Toro Rosso was pretty much sent airborne. I'll see if I can find out who that was.
The Williams and the Toro Rosso.
I mean, if it's a Williams, you're looking... GT5 King or Mornay. The Toro Rossos, we've got Roadrunner and Coming to Get You. Coming to Get You's up at the front, so it's not Coming to Get You. It must have been Roadrunner.
It must have been F1 Roadrunner. It may have been a bit of lag then. If it was, that'll be frustrating for the drivers around him.
Hammer Time has just got so much more downforce. You can clearly see the drivers that are running hardly any downforce, such as Tenfier and Jamie James, just getting absolutely swamped around turn 3, and the people with downforce are just saying, cheers, I'll go all the way around the outside of you. Hammer Time now up to P13.
There we are, and you could see he had pace right from the start, even from his qualifying lap times. Obviously he started in 2nd place, which was the dirty side of the grid. He got a good start, but did break a little bit late down into turn 1. He's ended up in 13th place at the moment, and he's going to be trying to fight back through the field, and he's getting very close to the car that's ahead of him.
We've got a bit of a train going on. It's P7 of Batman, Roadrunner in P8 and Mornay in P9. It's all getting a bit close under the bridge, heading towards turn 15. Mornay's got a nice line through turn 15. Can he pounce on F1 Roadrunner in the Toro Rosso? Looks like these two may be getting close to comfort again.
At this point, the DRS is active. They will be able to use it, and it is close enough. And this should be a DRS overtake, but it all depends on what setup they're running. Because if he's got too high a wing, he's still not going to be able to make the move.
F1 Roadrunner's gone defensive before an apex. That was slowed him down a fair chunk, heading down towards turn 2. And here we go, we'll be able to see the people with the downforce and people who don't have the downforce around turn 3.
I think there's a couple of overtakes made on the main straight there, and Hammer Time's got himself up to 12th place. What Mornay's got to be careful though in 9th place is that he's got Hindle beginning to catch up to the back of him as well. I mean, this race is, we're 4 laps in, it's absolutely action-packed, but not only that, I need to make you aware that obviously after Stocky's terminal damage, Overdyking's got a stop-and-go penalty for corner cutting, gaining a place. Caseley's got a stop-and-go penalty for ignoring yellow flag. And Hammer Time has also got a stop-and-go penalty for ignoring yellow flag, which all could have been caused from the big collisions early on.
I'm going to have to break you off. Braking Clays going for a move on, coming to get you on the second DRS straight. Heading up towards the bridge, coming to get you moving on the braking there. We do know that people like to straight line the braking zone, but that looked like he'd left the door open and then on the braking squeeze.
Sorry, it's got to cut in just behind Dan Evans and Caseley side by side through the quadruple ultimate corners, but Dan Evans managed to just about fend that off, but they were properly side by side then. Now, what the drivers with stop-and-go penalties will have to be careful of, as Braking Clays is applying pressure again, and he's going to go for a move here. This will be with DRS. Yeah, drivers with stop-and-go penalties, they may be able to appeal them, but they will have to serve them, because if they don't serve them, then they could end up getting penalised or disqualified. I think Caseley's going for a move on Dan Evans. He is around the outside into turn 2. That'll have pleased him there. So that's Caseley up to 4th place now, but he has obviously got a penalty to serve.
Braking Clays looking like a shark after a fresh pizza meat is coming to get you. Looks to be squirming away with them soft tyres, but he knows that if he can hold on for about 4 more laps, they'll be going backwards with them super soft runners, and he'll be able to keep pace with the current.
Oh, sorry, I've got a Toro Rosso into the wall. I was watching Hindle make an overtake on Mornay. Hindle with a nice bit of driving there, but the Toro Rosso of F1 Roadrunner ended up spinning into the barrier, doing what I mentioned could happen during qualifying, getting a little bit on the curb. He's now slow, he's got front wing damage, he's got Will Butler coming past him. Mornay's looking a little bit off pace there as well. I think he's got a problem, I'm not sure what it is. I wonder if he's got a puncture or something. He's definitely going slow. He's a bit of a sitting duck, and he's got quite a few cars around him, because F1 Roadrunner is now coming past him as well.
Yeah, his tyres are all inflated, and he's got all parts of his front wing, so I don't know what's up with him on there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's got some sort of technical issue there.
We've got a Force India Ferrari sandwich as Overdyking's just overtook a Force India in the background of Killer Corkin, and Jamie James is sniffing all over the back of F1 Roadrunner, and I'm pretty sure Arriva Bennett will be saying, what's going on here? We've got Jamie James and Roadrunner and Mornay heading for the pit lane.
And I tell you what, it's a difficult pit lane to get the speed limit right on there, so I won't be surprised if we did see some drivers at this event getting some speeding in the pit lane penalties.
Yeah. Very early though for a pit stop. That was a bit suspect for me.
It could be down to damage. So let's just
stop here for the Toro Rosso, getting a front wing change of F1 Roadrunner. Just getting going now.
Just want to review what's happening up at the front. We've got Mr. Hamilton 44 in first position with Coming to Get You already 6.2 seconds behind, but he is on the soft compound, and it's about this time period where those tyres will improve.
Sorry, there's been a swap at Haas. Down at Haas there's been a bit of a, I don't know if it's been team orders or if there's been a nice overtake there from Caseley, but he's up to P3 and he's hunting down, Coming to Get You.
Well, I tell you what, I did some practice sessions with Caseley, and if he'd have been allowed to do a qualifying time today, his pace, I can tell you, in practice sessions, he did a lap time that would have put him on pole position today. Whether he'd have been able to do it in a race is different.
All 4 tyres locked up there. There was even Coming to Get You was pretty scared there, I think, on the braking.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't his teammate, I think Coming to Get You would have tried to hold Caseley up, but he's done the right thing. coming to get you as the reserve for the team. He is just there to try and score points for the team and show everyone what he is capable of. We've seen a lot already since he's joined Front Row Racing, what he's capable of, but it's great to keep seeing it, that's for sure.
I think it's looking to be an easy move now for Casely. The straight line speed of that DRS that he's got is just absolutely manic. Because here we go, this is going to be an easy move now down towards turn 2. There we go.
Not as easy as you thought.
Just as I said that, coming to get you as the braking move of his life. Holding on. Round turn 3. Can Casely take it all the way around the outside? It looks like he can do under braking, but has he gone deep? And coming to get you has just gone back and squeeze him off the circuit there. That was a bit forceful there from coming to get you.
I tell you, it's good racing by these guys up in the podium positions at the moment.
It was very thankful though for Casely that the wall wasn't any closer because he was forced so far on the circuit.
Sorry guys, I need to interrupt. It's important. Steve, I need you to check if the live stream is still actually on, because at the moment it's not working for me. Coming to get you, he is making a move. No, he's not. He's losing a place. Sorry, to Casely. So that's majorly important for Casely there, but obviously there's a big gap from Casely. 8.5 seconds it is to Mr. Hamilton, 44.
I am on air. I'm on air.
Okay, no problem. It must just be on my end then. It's only playing up to a certain point and then stopping. I'll keep checking into that.
Sometimes if you rewind the footage to watch something a second time, sometimes it messes about after that. You might want to close it and open it again. I don't know if that helps.
I haven't done that, and I have closed it and opened it a number of times.
Okay. So
he's got DRS, but it looks like he hasn't got the straight line speed. He's trying to get on the back, but it looks like Dan Edsley's the man on the move right now in the Red Bull, having a look at braking plays through turn 2.
Well, this is where
through turn 3.
Yeah, these soft compound tyres now should be the delta time over the super softs. They should be nearly half a second to 3/4 of a second per lap quicker at this point in the race. But then another lap, it could be a second a lap, another lap, and it could be a second and a quarter, another lap, a second and a half. The super softs are just going to start dropping off about 1/4 of a second to half a second per lap from this point.
Steve, can you double tap share, please?
Yep. There we are, double tapped share. So Danev's looking very strong in 5th position. GT5 King is in 6th position on super softs. Oh, Hindle into the wall, no front wing. That is unfortunate for Hindle. I was just clicking onto him to say how well he was doing in that position, and I think I may have cursed him before I even got a chance to say anything. So yep, no front wing for Hindle. That's going to be a trip to the pit lane. As he's struggling to slow down for turn 13 as well. That is awkward for him. We've got Will Butler though chasing over Dyking for 8th position. And are they both on they're on opposite compounds. We've got Will Butler on super soft compounds. Are either of these going to head for the pit lane? We can see Hindle's definitely going to go.
So I just put in here, I think Dan Evans in P5 is going to make a move here. I think he's going to easily make a move. Braking plays looks like as if he's got 10 on the rear wing, and he's just even gives Dan Evans a nice little thump saying thank you very much for overtaking me and taking P4 for me.
I did try and get on to see that, but I selected the wrong vehicle. I do apologise.
So yeah, now we've got Toro Rosso being hunted by a Red Bull, and that is coming to get you, being hunted by Dan Evans as Casely has made his way into P2, and his teammate of Casely, it looks like he's going to be heading backwards with Mr. Hamilton 44 looks to have a nice lead now of about 9 seconds over Casely, so Casely's going to have to pull something special out of the bag to win this.
He is, but I tell you what, he was wanting to be about 5th position, and he's looking good for a podium here at the moment. He's in a strong position with those tyres he's got on. Just got to keep his focus, keep his concentration, like I say, and keep them lap times ticking over. But he's going to have pressure throughout the whole race from coming to get you. And of course Dan Evs.
Yeah, Danev's seeming to come into his own this season. I'm pretty sure last season we were saying about the drought of points he seemed to have last season, but this year he seems to be coming alive with this game.
I did have a little bit of a chat with Danevs, and he did say to me that the difference between last season and this season is he's not raced online in just random lobbies as much this season as he would do normally. Normally he would be like, oh, let's have a bit of F1 and just do something random, whereas this season he's focused more on practicing, and that's where it's the difference has been made.
Breaking Clays into the pits, getting rid of the super soft tyre, putting on a set of mediums. Will Butler also coming into the pits to get rid of his super soft tyre, and he's putting on a set of softs.
Kilcork, is he going to be able to...
Okay,
no,
sorry guys, I need to interrupt. Steve, you need to stop the stream and restart it, please, and carry on from where you go, because it would appear that it has frozen some laps ago. Now, while that's going on, Will Butler's coming out of the pits, and he's got traffic as he does so. He's got a Ferrari right behind him. That's Jamie James.